Now that we have all these streaming services, we can just get rid of all these, right? Just throw them out. Who needs them? Unfortunately, I fell into that trap thinking I didn't need any of my physical media anymore. I could stream anything I wanted. It was just clutter in my house. Boy, was I wrong. So, like many of you, I've been super frustrated with some of the streaming services, and I'm really just wanting to go back to my physical media. I have very fond memories of going to Blockbuster or Hollywood Video as a kid and also in high school, and looking for a VHS to rent for the weekend, or later on being able to go find a DVD. I mean, I really liked that experience of going and picking out my movie, putting it in the VCR or the DVD player, and watching it. I think a lot of people really are looking for that again. How many times have you gotten onto your smart TV and gone through your different streaming services only to find that what you want to watch is either unavailable or you still have to rent or buy it to be able to watch it? And when you do that, you don't even own it. And to make things even harder, if you want to watch something in 3D, the options are almost non-existent. There's really no way. There are a few things you can do to watch or stream 3D, but it's pretty limited. So the only option you have is to have a 3D TV or a projector and a whole library of 3D movies. So I've really been getting into it. I'm really starting to try to build up my 3D collection. As I've said before, I kind of got turned off by 3D years ago. And recently I'm just really getting back into it. And I'm really enjoying rewatching all these movies that I like and watching them in 3D. It's a whole nother experience, and it's fun to watch it with the family, with my kids. And really, I find myself focusing on different parts of the movie and noticing things I never noticed before in the 2D version. So today I went to several thrift stores. Normally I go and I can find maybe one or two and sometimes none of the 3D Blu-rays. But today, hit the jackpot at Goodwill. And the thing about Goodwill, for the one that I go to, is they have their Blu-rays priced a little more expensive. All their Blu-rays are $3.99. There's other thrift stores I go to where they're $1, $1.50, $2, and that's cheap. But everybody else goes there too because they know they're cheap. So to try to find something, you have to just get lucky when they're bringing a card out that has some Blu-rays. And I was today, I was lucky, but I went ahead and went to this Goodwill, and they had a pile of 3D Blu-rays. So let's take a look at them. This was the haul I picked up today at Goodwill, and I paid $3.99 for each one of these. And I know most of them, you know, they're not like the most expensive or the best or whatever, but if I were to try to get online and buy these on eBay or buy them through Amazon or some other third-party seller, I would pay a lot more than that. And so I feel like it was a good deal, but I don't know. What do you think? Is $3.99 too much to pay for a 3D Blu-ray? I feel like it's too much to pay for most regular Blu-rays, but to me, to be able to find some 3D Blu-rays and increase my collection, that's great. There's probably a couple in here I might keep and watch and then resell later, and just to kind of help pay for this little collection that I've got going. But let's go through it real quick and see what I picked up. So first one, I know they made number 3, 4, and 5 of Transformers in 3D Blu-ray. Supposedly there's some number 1 and number 2 Transformers out there, but they're really hard to find. I'm not sure. If you've seen those, let me know. But here's the Transformers, and it's the Age of Extinction one, and it's 3D Blu-ray plus DVD plus digital code. And I got these, and the discs on all of them actually look like they were untouched. So that was cool. So there's the first one. Some people like this movie, some people hate it. We'll see if it's any good. Next one I've got is Turbo. It's been a while since I've seen this one, actually. It's got the slip cover, and this one also looked like it was untouched. It's got the digital code in here, and I don't know, let's see what else we've got here. So I'm not sure what this is. It's just an advertisement. Oh, look, a Shrek ad. Veggie Tales. I haven't seen anything for that. The thing I liked about these, and sometimes I'm willing to pay a little more, is when they look really nice and clean and like unused. If it's scratched up or just beat up, I almost just don't want that. I just would rather it be nice. Now this one, the slip cover was a little torn, but I was okay with that. All right. Next thing we got is Lion King 3D. So it's been a while since I've seen Lion King, but this has got one of those thicker Blu-ray cases. And let's see here. We've got the digital code, and then it's got a Blu-ray guide. So a Blu-ray guide, I don't know what that is. Let's see. I don't know. I guess you need a guide to know how to operate your Blu-ray. Interesting. Okay. And then we got the 3D Blu-ray, DVD. Cool. My daughter loves this movie, Tangled, and got tangled in 3D. But when I opened it, I was like, hello, kitty. Oh, no. And then I saw, oh, at least the 3D Blu-ray is in there, but it's missing the regular Blu-ray. And then it has the digital copy disc. So I was like, that's too bad. It doesn't have the regular Blu-ray or the DVD. But then for $1.50 at one of the other thrift stores today, I found the Blu-ray and DVD. So now I can get this one right. So I ended up having $5.50 into that one. But that's, you know, when you really look at it and you're like, okay, I paid $3.99, but I got how many discs? This one I got 1, 2, 3. You get 4 discs out of this thing. I mean, that's like $1 a disc, right? So not obviously on this one because it was missing some discs, but on most of the normal ones, that's kind of like the cool thing about getting these sets is you're getting 3 or 4 discs when you're buying them, even at $3.99. So really you're pretty much about the same, paying $1 to $1.50 per disc. So I feel like that's a pretty good value. Here's Romeo and Juliet 3D with a lenticular cover. I've never seen this. Don't know if it's any good. I would love to watch it now just to see. It's got the digital code in here. Who knows if you can still claim these or not? I don't even know. I've never actually claimed a digital code. So I know a lot of people like to watch things digitally. I just don't. It's funny because a lot of these things tell you what you need in order to watch it. You need a TV, you need a 3D Blu-ray player, you need glasses, you need the movie. I think that's the part of the problem, is it just was like a lot for people to really get into this because you needed so much. And it was all really expensive back in the day. But anyways, it's got all the discs in it, so that was cool. Romeo and Juliet with this lenticular cover. You know, the slip covers actually kind of annoy me. They're just like, I don't know. Does anybody else have the problem? It like takes me 5 minutes to get the case in and out of it, especially if they get their corners bent, and then it messes up my case. But some people like to collect these just based off of the slip cover. I don't know. For me, they're just kind of annoying. But okay, here's Finding Dory with the lenticular slip cover. So that was a good one. We got I think we got them all in here too. Now this one comes with, and this was untouched, leave the disc at home, peel for digital movie. So you actually peel back and get your digital code. That's kind of cool. And then just another little advertisement in here. And then it's got the discs. So I don't know. These are all pretty clean and nice. Then I found Despicable Me 3D plus Blu-ray plus DVD. And it says it includes 3 new mini movies. So that was cool. That was a good find. So there's the Blu-ray. And it's missing one. It's got the 3D Blu-ray at least. But it looks like it's missing the DVD. But you know what? I actually said something funny today too when I opened up. Sometimes these movies are mixed up when you buy them, so it's always a good idea to check them. And most of the time I do, but this other one I checked and I opened it up, it had a Despicable Me in it, so maybe it just got messed up. But got the Lego Movie 3D. That's pretty cool. but it's got the 3D Blu-ray and the just regular DVD. Some of these, it's kind of weird how they choose what they're going to put in each one. Now, here's two other ones that are kind of interesting to me. I've got the Shrek 3D, the complete collection. So this one's kind of cool. It's kind of got like a little reflective cover on it. And then on the back, it gives you all the ratings for all the different countries. And this is for promotional use only, not for resale. Whoa, not for retail, sorry. Because they did resell. But this one has 4 discs, but actually it's got 2 of number 4 in it. I'm not sure why, but so there's number 4. So this one's got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then another number 4. I have no idea why. Now, one thing I'm curious about with this is there is a Shrek, the original movie 3D, that's on DVD that comes with the red and blue or the red and cayenne glasses, like these ones. So you would use that for that. But on this one, is this one actually in 3D for your 3D TV? Like, it's the Blu-ray, so I'm assuming all these are, and they're not just that regular red and blue glass you would wear. So that'll be interesting to try that out. But speaking of glasses, so I have 2 different TVs. I've got a Samsung Plasma that is a active 3D. And so you wear the active 3D glasses, which here's an example of the active glasses. They actually have a battery that goes in the back here, and then it has an active shutter. And some people complain about these because they're kind of bigger, bulkier. They're not as comfortable. The Sony glasses actually had like a little rubber piece right here, and they were maybe a little more comfortable. And I actually had found these at a thrift store, and I thought, well, they're Sony, they probably wouldn't work on my Samsung, but they actually did, which was kind of cool. So the active one, you know, you don't lose any resolution on the TV when you use these, but people complain that they're a little more uncomfortable. For me, whether I'm watching like a 3D Blu-ray or I'm in the theater, I kind of like to give my eyes a rest like halfway through anyways, and it kind of makes it better. But then I also have a passive TV. I've got a Vizio, and it's a passive 3D. It's a little newer TV, but you do lose some of the resolution with those, but you get these nice, comfortable, cheap 3D Real D glasses that work for those TVs, just like what you would have in the movie theater. So people have their preferences. I like kind of switching back and forth and trying them out and just kind of seeing some of the differences between the TVs. But the last one I got today was, and I did grab a few other ones, so stick with me and I'll show you this other haul that I got for a whole bunch of Blu-rays for $1 at another thrift store. So, but this one was the Megamind 3D, and it's also for promotional use only and not for retail. So this one and the other one, I believe, said Samsung on them. So, yep, they do. They say Samsung on them, on the disc. So it must be like a promotional thing. Like if you bought a Samsung TV or one of their 3D Blu-ray players or something, you got the disc with it. And so that's kind of cool. It's got the disc in there. And so these are a lot, like it seems like a lot of the 3D Blu-rays are more of the kid movies or family-friendly family movies. But I'm actually kind of really into those movies a lot more lately anyways. I really don't care for some of these hardcore, you know, rated R movies that are just either real scary or just kind of just violent, just whatever. Anyway, so I kind of like these more family-friendly movies anyway. So a lot of them are all that. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And I'm also really trying to grab a few more of like the 80s and some of the 3D movies from the 50s even, like Creature from the Black Lagoon supposedly is a really good one. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'd like to and try it out. But here, let's take a look at just real quick some of the other ones I got. I got all of these right here for $1 at, now most of these, some of these are Blu-ray and some of them are regular DVD. And a lot of them I get because they're good for the kids and the kids can actually, like, people are like getting rid of their DVDs. But if you have like a DVD player in your car, most of those don't take Blu-ray. They only take regular DVD. So if your kids are with you and you're going on a long trip, you need the regular DVD. Plus, you don't care if they kind of like throw it around and scratch it up. So I kind of like to keep some of the regular DVDs on hand. And then here's a bunch of the Blu-rays that I got, and these were all $1.50 each. And so I thought these were a good deal. What I'm seeing happening is people are, so if you notice, this is Star Wars. This is a brand new Rogue One. This is a brand new Captain Marvel. And then we got Thor Ragnarok. We got Guardians of the Galaxy. Several other Marvel and Star Wars ones in here. And I think people are like, well, I'm streaming, Disney Plus, so I don't need that anymore. But I don't know, like many of you, like all of a sudden I've got ads on mine and I have to stop and watch an ad while I'm watching it. And the quality of the stream is not as good either. And so right now I got it for like $3 a month because I got a special promotion. But once it goes back up to 15, I'm canceling it. I'm done with it. I'm just tired of the whole streaming thing. And I think a lot of people are getting to this like, oh, we don't need our movies anymore. We can just stream it on Disney Plus. Why do we need these? And they're going to find out they got rid of all these. Then all of a sudden they're going to get rid of Disney Plus because they get tired of it as well. And they're like, well, now we don't have any of our movies. So there was another cool one in here, a Star Wars. It was a New Hope in the Steelbook. So that was kind of a cool find. And then also this Young Frankenstein, which is new. The plastic is a little torn, but so a lot of fun, cheap, kid movies, family movies, Marvel, Star Wars kind of stuff I like. Some of these other ones, there's some in here I've never, this was new, so I picked it up, but Nerve, I've never seen or even heard of that one. Dr. Dolittle, so this is $1 for 3 movies. That's a great deal, but my kids loved watching these. These are good movies. One last real cheap thing I got was a Switch game for $1. This is Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz. I don't know. Who knows what that's like? I looked it up. They're worth about $12 on eBay. So might play it for a minute with the kids and then sell it on eBay. And I think I can sell several of these to help pay for some of the other ones, which is cool. So if you pick up some deals, and maybe there's some you don't necessarily like, but you can find a good deal on them and you can throw them on eBay and it helps pay for your other ones you're getting. It's awesome. I think people are making mistakes by donating and getting rid of their movies like this, but I like to benefit off of it. I got a lot of great 80s movies and a lot of great 80s content that I'm going to be talking about and that I talk about on this channel. And I also have a lot of 80s home movies that I digitalize and put on this channel. So if you're interested in any of that, please subscribe. One of these days I need to show you my equipment I use for digitalizing a lot of the old VHSs. I can digitalize the VHS, the Betamax, old film, Super 8, 8mm, 16mm film. So I have a lot of equipment that I use for digitalizing some of this old media. But I love old media. I love physical media. I have film that is almost 100 years old that I've digitalized. I mean, it's just so fun to go back and see that stuff. If you like these types of videos, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. I love making videos about media and 80s and 90s era stuff. I had a lot of fun at the thrift stores today. Got a lot of stuff for not a lot of money, so that's always fun. All right, thanks for joining me. Take care.